to do it open, as the information we are going to discuss is very important for our community. Therefore, we decided to make this session webinar open so that many partners may learn this information. Next slide, please. Thank you. Since today's session is open and all the participants of our Perfume Club already know us with Mary, but for our guests, my name is Alexander Dolin. I'm one of the founders of the Perfume Academy, co-owner of the Stylist Perfumer brand. I'm a perfume expert with over 20 years of experience in perfume industry. I'm responsible for EvoScent literacy and EvoSchool project manager. Next slide, please. My colleague who will work together with me is Mary Furs. She is a perfume expert, aroma psychologist, aromatherapist. She is a co-founder of the Perfume Academy, co-owner of the Stylist Perfumer brand, and responsible for EvoScent project literacy. And she is also an EvoSchool project manager. Next slide, please. Together with you, we will work in the following way. I am very pleased to see you all, to see your messages in the chat, but let's agree, since EvoSchool has some rules to follow, and I will discuss them. Whenever you have a question or you would like to share something, or you see your peer and would like to welcome him or her, or you have some crazy idea you'd like to share with our community, there will be special time for working with the chat. If you understand how our webinar room looks, when you leave some messages in the chat, I see them in the screen, and they cover the screen partly, and it is a distractor for the community. It distracts the community from the information we are going to share. Therefore, please share your messages when you are instructed. For instance, I would say, answer my question, and then you put it down in the chat box. I do also encourage you to ask your families not to worry you. If you have pets, I advise you to stay in another room or ask your pets and keep them out of the room where you are, because I know whenever there is most valuable, important information, you are focused and the pets feel it and they want to join you and get the information together with you. I will also ask you to turn off TV sets, chats, different gadgets. I take some trainings quite frequently. You receive some messages, you would like to take part in some forum or answer the texts you received in the messengers. It will distract you. Therefore, I strongly advise you to remind the following: to stay here and now fully concentrated. Students of the Perfume Academy already studied this session where we spoke about the methods of training and learning, how to improve efficiency of your learning, what you can or cannot do. So if you attended that session, simply remember that you'd better be focused here and now. You'd better digest and marinate this information, and you may afterwards share it with others. And please remember that at the same time, we play two roles. The first role is the one of a student, and the other role is the role of a teacher, of a coach. And in the chat, I will give you some special time to say hello. In the Academy, we interact very actively with the chat. Therefore, put it down some messages in the chat when you are instructed, even if you want to welcome someone. Why we play these two roles? When you learn some new information, you absorb it. You are focused. You are concentrated as a student, you learn. But if you allow yourself, I will repeat the word, allow yourself to act as a coach at the same time, not as a student, and share this information with your structure, with your network, with your partners, with your prospects, dear clients in future, then the information is digested twice better. Then you take notes with full attention. You take notes of all the important things. If you understand that afterwards, you will need to share this information with others. Hopefully, the rules are clear and you agree. And now this is time for our chat box to say hello to each other. Put it down which city and country you are from, and put down a plus as an indication that you agree with these rules. Or you may put it down, I disagree, or put down a minus, and then the organizers will delete you from our chat, from our rooms. So it's chat time. So I want to see that you are live, that not your PCs are on and you are busy with something else, but you are still here, very attentive. So say hello and please tell us which country and city you are from and whether you agree to the rules or not. So hope you all know how to work with the chat box. Jackie, thank you very much for your hello. Tweeting go. Can we get a plus from your end? So that we check that you are here, and whenever there are some questions from Alexander, you will be able to answer them. Okay, I see Jackie from South Africa, Johannesburg, and Tweety from the USA. Hello. Okay, so hope you managed to find our chat. Hello to all. So I assume that I see Kazakhstan, Almaty. You know, we noticed that Kazakhstan is hitting the records in EvoSchool. Maybe because people in Kazakhstan like perfumes, or they love themselves. Okay, great. So Alexander welcomed Jackie and Tweety. So actually, I was talking about Kazakhstan, that Kazakhstan is very active in EvoSchool. Great. Look, we keep the records and we see whether you are active or not, which cities are active, order travel sets, presentation sets, and Kazakhstan hits the records, and it's great. And we would be glad to have a separate session for Kazakhstan. We decided with Mary that those countries that are the most active, for these countries, we will have special sessions considering for the conditions in this country, conditions in the market of this country. And for over 25 years of my work in network marketing and 20 years in perfume industry, so people generally say, we have a special city, we have a special country, and we are different from others. But in Odessa, Ukraine, they say, this is Odessa, our city is very special. In many other capitals of other countries, they would say that our city is special, our country is very special. In Spain, in the United States, in South Africa, in all the cities, people would say that the market is very special and the clients are special. And we understand that there are some circumstances to consider, and therefore, together with Mary, we decided that those countries that are most active, we will research the market, the demand on the market, and run a special session. And since Kazakhstan is hitting the records, I'd like to ask you to ask your leaders to get in touch with me and Mary, either in Telegram or Instagram. In Instagram, for instance, my domain is Alex Dolin, ALEX Dolin. And you may ask your leaders to get in touch with us, and we will arrange a special session and discuss your current situation in Kazakhstan. What are we going to discuss today? Today, we are going to discuss how to do comprehensive sales or holistic sales through identification of the needs of your clients. I know that many people bought packages. Packages include the basic training where you learn some basics so that you may at least be on the same page with the people who are experts in perfumes. The basic package does not allow you to work with retail chains, shops, bloggers. Our colleagues get a license to work with retail shops and perfume bloggers after graduating from the advanced course and perfume club. And today you will understand why. Unfortunately, in a month of studies, you cannot train properly a specialist so that you are on the same page with a specialist in the perfume world. But within 3 months, this is the duration of the advanced course, it is possible. You get the perfumery glossary. You learn very specific perfume terms and concepts. You learn the methodologies to work with shops, how to make your proposal, and what you need to make sure that our products are sold there, as perfume shops offer quite a wide range of products. And our aim is that the perfume shop is interested in our products and is interested to support our system, NEEW, so that people understand what it means to work with the system, that we come not only with our product, but with our clients, with our client base. And in the advanced course and perfume club, we study this all, how you may structure a dialogue properly with the owner of the perfume shop, and your strategy of working with such a shop so that we do it properly. And in perfume shops, we will have a possibility to train our consultants, not in an office, in a cafe, or at home, but in large perfume shops. We will invite new partners who will be trained and coached there. So the graduates of the advanced course or the perfume club could come to the shops to see how this entity, the shop works, which questions the clients ask, the objections they have, because generally objections are the hidden question. A person actually does not object, but tries to clarify. And we will study this in practice. Today, we will also discuss such a topic as the perfume wardrobe or fragrance wardrobe, but we actually start this topic in the basic course, then we detail it even further in the advanced course, and naturally the perfume club, which lasts over 1 year, where with our colleagues we become friends, we have feedback, and we ask our colleagues from perfume club to speak up at some large events, and the perfume club offers a possibility of feedback. If you take the basic course after taking the sessions, you actually do the homeworks, then you get a certificate of completion. But if you don't do your homeworks, then you don't get this certificate. Whereas in the advanced course, there are a number of questions, and after answering these questions, it's like sitting an exam, and if it is passed successfully, you get a certificate that allows you to work with perfume professionals. And the perfume club is 1 year training program, which is still on. And therefore, if you join us, you will be able to work with us for another 6 months live and rewatch all the sessions of the perfume club at any time convenient, in a place convenient for you, as recorded. And perfume wardrobe. Today, we will discuss our know-how, what we give to the market. Okay, regarding the perfume wardrobe, we developed this methodology a number of years ago, and we already see that our competitors also learned this methodology of perfume wardrobe, and we see that even some shops use this methodology of perfume wardrobe. And we see that even some trainers who train stylist perfumers, by the way, this is our development, a patented occupation, which is copyright. The market is still the market. We are open, we share the information, and we feel pleased that competitors actually like our developments and also embed them into their methodologies. What we are going to discuss today is something new, that is making up a collection of fragrances through the 6 basic needs of persons. This is something new on the market. So a few words about the perfume wardrobe first, and then we will move on to the 6 basic needs, and then you will understand that selling perfumes is easy peasy when you know how. And our role together with Mary is the perfume literacy in our community. And today we will be delighted to share our knowledge about the perfume wardrobe and basic needs of persons. Well, perfume wardrobe. This is an attribute of a successful person that allows its owner to have a collection of fragrances for different occasions of his or her life. So there are fragrances called refreshing, morning, or energetic. So they put you into the resourceful mood. There are business style fragrances. They keep us focused, concentrated, so that you achieve the best results at work, at school, at university. And this is the result you may gain here and now. If you're fully focused here and now, concentrated, then you show better results compared to all the peers around. I'm not talking about genius and very gifted people, but in any case, we have an advantage. We have a privilege. And now there is a very active use of the distant mode of working. And in many professions, when you work remotely from home, it is much worse compared to your staying in office. When you are at the desk, you wear smart clothes. It depends on the dress code in your office. And when you study remotely, it's much worse compared to being in a classroom, when you can see eyes of your coach, of your trainer, when you are not distracted by your families, by your pets, and etc. And our task now remotely to help you concentrate your attention as if you are in an office at work. Quite likely you noticed when you work at home, when you wear some sports suit or your slippers next to you, there are some meals and the TV in the background, you actually don't want to work. But when you put on a business suit, even at home, your efficiency increases by 18 to 25%, according to the statistics. But we will discuss it a bit later. And another great advantage of the perfume wardrobe is that its owner is always compliant with the situation and can choose fragrances to bring himself or herself into a special state or mood.
So we have discussed the morning energizing sports fragrances, business fragrances, and now let's talk about relaxing fragrances. This is the evening relaxation leisure fragrance. It's a scent that allows us to switch from the work mode to the leisure mode, rest mode. So give me a plus in the chat if it happened to you. You came back home where your beloved family is, your children, your husband, wife, your parents, but your thoughts are still at work. Or for example, if you're a student, your thoughts are in college. For example, probably you're taking exams. So if it happened to you as well, then give me a plus in the chat. Now, dear colleagues, we see that I have some interaction in the chat, at least in the Russian one, and I see there are more people altogether than those who provide feedback. So guys, I would like all of you to provide your feedback, because when I see your feedback, then I see that people are listening to me. I have more energy and I'm more ready to share my information with you, because I can deliver my topic in a monotonous, emotionless way. I see that you're not interactive, you're not interested, then I share my information without giving any emotions or real life stories to it. So if you share your feedback in the chat, you'll get extra bonuses. The next fragrance in our perfume wardrobe is our going out or evening or party fragrance. Although it is also an evening fragrance, it is different from the relaxation fragrance, because relaxation fragrance scent allows us to anchor down our leisure mode. For example, the one that you feel when you're with your husband or children or wife. A friend of mine told me that there were kids who were playing in the courtyard, playing football. They were having fun throwing ball, and some of the parents are quite funny, because when the children come back home, they tell them, sit down, have dinner, have lunch, then do your homework, and then you'll go out to play. Because, when a child comes back from home, they eat, and after they eat, they are sleepy, and now they need to do homework. And at the same time, they hear that other children are playing football outside. So that's what makes children hate their homework and their classes, their school. So unless your child is a genius, they will not be doing their homework, or they will find a way around your instructions. Good parents, they allow their children play football after they come back from outside. They sit down and eat because they are hungry, they lost energy. But you allow them to go outside in the street on a hungry stomach, empty stomach, and it will be the hunger, not you, that will call them back home. Then they spend some more energy, and then when they come on at an agreed time, they remember about it. The Pavlovian reflex kicks in. The child eats, they calm down a little bit, and they sit down, do their homework. However, hyperactive children, even after they eat, they won't calm down. And my client told me that the evening relaxation fragrance meant for the home coziness is good when you sit down with the child to do their homework, because they relax, they calm down. I don't know about you, but for many parents, doing homework with their children is stressful. For us, it seems everything is clear, but the child is not clear about it, and we are nervous. So the relaxation fragrance allows us to calm down. It's like a pleasant melody. It's like meditation that calms us down. And this is how the fragrance affects us and people around us. For example, your beloved man came back home, hugged you, kissed you, felt the fragrance of your perfume, probably made you a compliment or not. Well, men and compliments are not friends. Therefore, don't be upset if your beloved man does not make you compliments every day, because this is not men's nature. So take it as it is. Men are men, and they might cut down a tree, dig a hole, or hunt an animal, but compliments is something beyond their capabilities. But this is something that we learn in our perfume club lessons. So some of our clients, female clients, say that thanks to the relaxation, pleasant fragrances, when their husband comes back home, they say, when I come back home, I feel so comfortable, so calm. I don't know why, but at home, I enjoy my time myself. Well, I won't tell you that it's just because of the fragrance that we choose for our clients, but our task is to make it part of our clients' usage culture, receive their feedback. If they know that they have this ace in the pocket up their sleeve, then women will feel better because they know they have this ace in the pocket. So the evening, weekend, or going out fragrance can serve two purposes: attack and defense. So this case is for the attack. This is the one that attracts the opposite sex's attention. It attracts the attention of our friends, female and male friends, because they're active, flashy, gala, bright fragrances. A client of mine told me that her beloved man invited her to a restaurant, and I draw her that picture during my sales pitch, and she was so psyched because that's exactly what happened. She called me so excited, and it was a big win for me as a professional, because I shared my professional help with her, and client heard the story from me during my sales pitch, and I told her, imagine this picture. Well, I would like to tell you right away, when you draw a picture, mental picture, women, they perceive information through emotions, through their senses, eyes, ears, by drawing them a picture. Men, well, of course, there are exceptions, but men, in most cases, they are logical beings. So during your sales pitch, you need to draw a logical picture for them. So here's what I told my client during my sales pitch when I offered her an evening fragrance. Remember, I have 20 years of perfume experience. I know quite a lot of perfumes, and Evo scent perfumes is a miracle. But we will talk about it later. Mary will tell you more about it. I'm not going to praise it too much. I'm sure you already had a chance to familiarize with those scents and you know what I'm talking about. So I draw my client this picture. I tell her, imagine that your beloved man invites you to a restaurant. You eat a nice meal. You have a glass of champagne. You are in high spirits, there is a good music on the background, and all of a sudden you hear the slow music and the man that you like invites you to a dance. He holds you by your waist and feels the fragrance on you, and he thinks, this lady has a good taste. She wears a very good perfume. She's so pleasant. I feel so good with her. And here's what happens. The fragrance bypasses your conscious minds and goes into your subconscious mind. It activates certain mechanisms. It attracts and disposes people towards you. And that's what I told my client during my sales pitch. So by holding you by your waist, dancing a slow dance, he thinks, she's such a wonderful woman. I would like to spend my life with her. I propose to her, and she would marry me, and I would have a lot of kids with her and would live a wonderful, happy life. And I see that my client is nodding her head that she would like to have that. So she quite enjoys that, and she accepted it. She bought it. And then I put my finger on her pressure point. So imagine the same situation, but without the perfume. Same restaurant, same man that you like, the same glass of champagne, the same tasty food, the same slow music. The man invites you to a slow dance, holds you gently by your waist, but you're not wearing any perfume. I'm not talking about the bodily odor, but probably because of the food and drinks and dances, which makes your body temperature increase, then our bodies start sweating and smelling. And the older we are, the less pleasant our smell is, because when you have a newborn child, he smells so nice that you want to kiss him or her. And you don't want to at all kiss your grandparent, be it a granny or granddaddy. It's not because we don't love them. It's because they don't smell nice. And it's not because they're bad. It's because throughout their life or our life, we do not only accumulate money on our bank accounts, but we also accumulate a lot of sludge, toxins, health conditions, hormonal disorders. Also as a result of the diet and the medical drugs that we take, biological additives and herbs, all of it affects our smell, the way we sweat, and our smell over time isn't very good. So a young girl smells way nicer than an adult woman, and a small child smells better than an elderly woman or man. So I'm telling you these stories for you to write them down, and in future, when you have the 75 milliliter bottles, you would be able to use that information in your work. Therefore, this is not a Luciano Pavarotti's concert. You shouldn't be like listening to me and hear me saying. No, it's about you making notes of what I'm saying so that it would be easy for you to make big sales, because Mary and I, during our sessions, are going to teach you how to sell not just one bottle to a client, but 5, 6 bottles to one client. So we are holding our classes and teaching where and how to find people who are ready to purchase 5, 6 fragrances at once. Unfortunately, it happens in life, and I hope that it never happened to you and won't ever happen, but believe me, it happens, that people do not have sometimes enough money. And when the people hear information that words that you can sell 5, 6 expensive fragrances to just one client, but people at the moment don't have extra cash, they don't believe you. They say, no, it can't be. If you don't have money, I don't mean you personally, but if a person doesn't have money, they apply it to everyone else. They think others don't have money either. So believe me that there are very many very rich people out there, people who don't know how to spend their money. You know, when you ask a poor person, what if you had $1 million, what would you do? And they say, I would buy myself an apartment, a car, I would go on a trip, I would go on a world tour, etc., etc. Rich people, they have a different mentality. They think about how to multiply that million, how to invest it correctly. And investing into yourself is the best investment ever. If you smell beautifully, if during a business negotiation meeting, I'm talking about men now. Well, I drew a picture about women. Now, when we talk to men, Mary and I say, imagine that you have an awesome business fragrance and you put it on yourself, on your palm before your meeting, and you massage it lightly. You do not rub it, because on a molecular level, it will go inside your bloodstream, but you simply put it on superficially on your skin, on your palms, and then you slightly massage them. So what happens is that a fragrance is a composition dissolved in alcohol. If you ever did this experiment, take a cotton wool with alcohol and then take your freshly washed hands and rub it with this cotton wool soaked in alcohol. What will happen with that cotton wool? And while you're writing the chat, I'll tell you what happens with me. This piece of cotton wool becomes dirty. Well, not really, really dirty, but it's grayish, even though you washed your hands. So the alcohol dissolved the dead pieces of skin, layer of skin, and all the dirt that it could take out of your pores. And that cotton wool becomes dirty, even though you washed your hands. So when we put perfume on our palm, I repeat, and this works for man, because a woman needs a story. Men need logic. So we put this fragrance on our palms. So what happens? First of all, our palms started smelling nice. And when the alcohol evaporated, it took with it all the excess humidity. Especially nowadays, because of the corona, people use antiseptic, the sanitizers, and they have clean hands, but it wasn't always so. So my task is to show to a client the logical sequence. So the excess humidity evaporates, your hands become warm, dry, and nice smelling. If it ever happened to you, give me a 3 in the chat, please. If when you shake someone's hands and the other person had a cold, humid, not very pleasant hand. So you haven't even started talking to them and you're already put off by that sweaty, cold hand. And you want to rub your hand off and tell that person goodbye and then walk away. Although a person might be a good person, probably it might have been a very good deal, but for example, it was hot outside. He was getting ready for the meeting. His hands became sweaty. Probably it's because of his body. Probably he drank too much liquid before that. So there are many factors why it could have happened. But his palm was humid, unpleasant, cold. And the first impression was ruined. And you know, they say that you can't make a first impression twice, a second time. So when you shake someone's hand with your warm, dry, pleasant hand, what happens is that men, unlike women, allow themselves to touch their face. Women do not allow themselves to touch their face because they have makeup that they spend quite a lot of time applying, and they wouldn't want to smear it, smudge it. But the men, if they shave themselves, they comb their hair, they are the best versions of themselves. So men allow themselves touching their hair, touch their glasses, their nose, their lips, their cheeks, chins. Sometimes men can put their face on their hand, and every time they feel the fragrance that they put on their palm. I recommend my clients also to put fragrance on their business cards, so that your business cards would wear your fragrance. So most often, where do men most often put business cards in? Most often they put their business cards either in their breast pocket of their shirt or the jacket, or they put it in their wallet. Most often. It's very random, rarely, than when a man puts their business card in their pockets, in their trousers, or in their back pocket. Well, it's a kind of a disrespect. It's not very nice. They put it somewhere in their breast pocket or in the inside pocket or in their wallet. Yeah, I see, guys, that you agree with me. So what happens is at the end of the negotiation meeting, you either reached an agreement, a deal, especially, but if it was your first meeting, probably it was some serious negotiations, you guys take some time for thinking. What happens is that the meeting is over, but the fragrance lingers, stays, and your potential business partner will feel your fragrance hours later on. They will remember their meeting with you and the negotiations. You know what the men say, I need to think about it. I heard you, now I need to think about it. If you think that they come back home and they sit in a philosopher's pose and start thinking about your meeting, no, that's not what happens. They go have a meal, they meet a nice lady, they come back home, they see their children, their wives, and they forget about it. But your fragrance continuously reminds them of that meeting, takes them back to that negotiation table. So if it's a serious contract, then please tell me, how much would you be ready to pay for the fragrance so that it would remind your business partner of you all the time? I'm not talking about $1 million contract. Let's say $100,000 contract, $10,000 contract, but preferably 100,000. How much would you be ready to pay for the perfume, 75 milliliter perfume, that would attract that meeting, remind your potential business partner of you and your deal? So a ballpark estimate, a $110,000 deal. How much would you ready to pay for such a perfume? I see some people say 500, 1,000. So what other options? Don't be shy. I need your feedback. I'm not selling you any perfume right now. Don't worry. It's not like you're saying it's too expensive or you give me a too high a price and that's the price I'm going to sell you the perfume for. Someone says even $5,000. Well, yeah, easily, because after all, it's a $100,000 deal. $5,000, yes, $660. Someone says $10,000 even. Well, quite possibly, yes. So essentially, by drawing this picture and asking this question, your potential partner will answer that question themselves. And I'm doing the same with my prospects, that what I'm doing with you. I tell them, don't worry, it will not affect the perfume's price. I'm not selling you the perfume. My task is to just share information with you. You can give me any number. It will not be binding, no strings attached. And people will say $5,000, $1,000, even $10,000. And when they say that, you understand they are ready to pay. So your information, your token has fallen, as they say. So, and the next fragrance in the perfume wardrobe is the sexy, intimate fragrance. This is the fragrance for dating, going out, for flirting, which attracts the opposite sex. And this is the ace in up our sleeves that gives us the chance to attract the attention of the men that we like or women that we like. I could ask you, how much would you be ready to pay for a perfume that would help you attract the attention of a man that you like, build relationship with him, for him to become your husband and to have children together, if you're not married yet and you don't have children yet? So how much hypothetically you would be ready to pay? Or if you're a man and you have a woman that you carry the flame for, so how much would you be ready to pay for the perfume so that the woman would be attracted to you, the woman that you like? So how much would you evaluate such a perfume? So quite everyone says $1,000, even $5,000. Well, yes, this is how you take the client to the thought that such perfumes should be expensive. Someone says 660. Again, now I see that number again from one of our participants. So let's stop writing in the chat, and there can be a sixth fragrance in your perfume wardrobe for studying, negotiations, for meditation, for going to the theater, movies, etc. The reason I'm saying it can be in your wardrobe, because usually we make a wardrobe consisting of 5 fragrances, but you can have a 6th, 7th, and even an 8th. You can sell the entire collection easily. So when we say 5,000, 1,000, it's dollars. So guys, when you give the price, let's use US dollars, okay? It will be our currency franca. So to make up a fragrance wardrobe, you will need more than one, even fragrance, even though they might want even one. I have lots of stories about it, but let's go to the next slide.
Well, the main task of the fragrance is to give emotions and convey some message to the person you are talking to. And fragrance can help you to control the impression that you make, or repel your partner, or to attract. And in the fragrance wardrobe, you can choose a fragrance that will broadcast to the people who surround you confidence, reliability, status, trust, or sexuality. Perfume wardrobe is about managing the external impressions you make on the people. And now let's talk about the internal things, 6 emotional or basic needs of a human being. 6 emotional needs, they're not desires. They are not the greed. They're not something you want, but these are basic needs every human being has. This is what makes people feel satisfied. There are rich people who also cry. There are people who externally look nice. Everything is fine, but they're miserable because some of their basic needs are not satisfied. It's like a bicycle wheel, and there is one arrow which is missing. And instead of moving quickly, you can actually fall down. To control your inner state through choosing the right fragrance in the context of 5 needs of a human being. This is our today's topic. I will turn off my camera and will close my window blind. I am living in a house, 4-story house, and my study is on the 4th floor. And in the evening time, there is sunshine. And it is a reminder for me either to enjoy the life or to go out to the park. Well, next slide, this one. Okay, what are the basic needs? The first basic need is certainty. To have a comfortable life. What do I mean? So the first basic need is called the need of certainty. Being certain and sure that you can avoid pain and get some pleasure. It is caused by your survival instinct to live your own life. The process itself of limitless questions and curiosity to yourself creates uncertainty. The more we think it over, the more we far away from this basic need of certainty. We set goals. We start thinking about the sense of our life, whether it will be good in our country, on the planet, in my business, in your family. This is how the human brain is structured, or this survival instinct. The more you think it over, the more uncertain it is. But the first basic need is the need of certainty. And an important skill is to gather high quality information from different sources and start believing in yourself, because a belief generates certainty. When you believe in the Lord, in the Allah, or in the aliens, in the president of your country, the leader, CEO of your company, if you believe in yourself, in business you are doing, the higher your belief is, the more this need of certainty is satisfied. Next slide. The needs are always the same, whereas the ways and methods to satisfy them are different. We have them different. And to feel certain, I will eat something. So these are bad options or ways to satisfy these needs. Or for instance, a man says, I will fix the table. A man generally, when he needs to take a serious decision, to do business or to talk to a hard client, he would always find some other deeds to do to fix the table. So what we do daily, our routine, is what gives the certainty. And generally, we try to avoid it. But a good method to achieve certainty is your belief and faith. Ask yourself a question. What you can do actually to develop the belief, the faith? Like I said, the belief in the Lord, in the God, in aliens, in the CEO of the company. What you need to develop this feeling? Make a list and put it down what you need to improve your belief, your faith. Don't put it down in the chat box for the time being. Do it in your notebook. And now, with the clap of applause and your exclamation marks in the chat box, because exclamation marks mean the noise and the clap of applause, I'd like to invite my colleague. So we will do it this way. I share my part and Mary will share her part about the fragrances in the collection, which help to satisfy some needs. Remember, I said that the fragrance avoids the subconscious and gets into conscious. And this is like a start button and a signal we can get instantly. Thank you, Alexander. This is Mary. I'd like to welcome, first of all, our participants of the Perfume Club and our guests. And the Perfume Club today is our chats are full of guests, and welcome you all. And I wish you all the perfumery evening, and show me your reactions. And in particular, I'd like to see the feedback of our guests. How do you find the information we managed to share with you over the first hour of our webinar? All the developments and information Alexander shared with you, how do you find it? Everything Alexander says is backed by the experiences. And moreover, look, in the first part of our session, we discussed how you can present properly the fragrances through choosing a perfume wardrobe for different occasions of the life. And as Alexander has said, this methodology, this practice has already been taken by some shops. It is not widespread, but nonetheless, the perfume wardrobe, many have heard of this. Some specialists in the perfume world are aware of perfume wardrobe. And regarding the perfume wardrobe, how to choose it for yourself, and how to learn to choose the perfume wardrobe for your clients, and how to train perfume consultants in this. We include this all into the agenda of our advanced course, where we exercise a lot, and during the sessions of the Perfume Club, we actually have an advanced level of knowledge, learning, and this is the reason why we discuss the topic of 6 basic needs of human beings. And actually, you may be confused why we are talking about the basic needs and the perfumes, but we will come back to it. There is a question whether there will be a recording. So all the sessions are recorded, and afterwards the access is provided to our students on Get Course platform, where you may see the recorded sessions. And of course, this information is recorded, but these sessions are not publicly open, but they are recorded for our students. Coming back to the linkage between the basic needs of human beings and scents, fragrances, and EvoScent collection, well, my dear friends, my dear guests and students, so we had one session with our students of the Perfume Club where we studied the needs only, a detailed research and how to work with the fragrances. Whereas today, together with our guests, we will study the needs the people have and how you may present the fragrances, present our EvoScent fragrances, so that a person feels that he would like to have this fragrance. He needs this because at present I am missing certainty. So of course you should not read to a person who actually is sitting in a cafe with you. You should not give him a lecture of the needs. We study this here, but to present a fragrance by opening the presentation set and describing the fragrance, for instance, Evorich, from the point of view, a person starts thinking, I really need this fragrance because I want to be certain about my life. Surely, I want to be certain and sure. And this is the way when you learn how to present fragrances adequately, properly, you may actually efficiently present the fragrance so that a person falls in love with the fragrance, its composition, and desperately want to get this fragrance and in his life. So this is the higher skills, more advanced skills, how he can do it. So one method to do it is the perfume wardrobe. If you attended yesterday's webinar, so actually I made a presentation of fragrances through the perfume wardrobe. For instance, you may say to a person, which looks will this fragrance match more? Or you may do it even at an advanced level. You may describe the fragrance through working with the needs each of us has. For instance, fragrance number 1, Evorich. This is a fragrance which actually generates emotions and the energy of being active. And Evorich actually pushes us to outcome our limits. And this is the fragrance which, despite its refined traditional formula, sounds like a brave, cheerful, and modern perfume masterpiece. We know this because actually, generally, we hear this description of this fragrance at the presentation. But how can you present it from the point of view of satisfaction of needs? When you pick a fragrance, Evorich, from the presentation set, you may say the following. So please, attention. So I stress it so that you learn how to do it. If you have the presentation set nearby, open it, apply it onto your skin, and you learn how to present. So Evorich fragrance is the one which creates a sense of safety and individuality. It encourages us to act quickly and decisively by creating a sense of confidence in tomorrow. And when a person at this moment or at the time of haste and rush hears our description, how we perceive it as a stylist perfumer, as a perfume consultant, as a perfume business representative, describe and present Evorich, and we will apply this fragrance onto the skin of a person. So by using these phrases, we actually describe the sense of certainty a person inhales this fragrance, he matches it with his internal impressions, and quite likely the magic will start. He will fall in love with this fragrance, and he is destined to feel that this fragrance inspires him to calm down, like he is wrapped, he is hugged by his mom, and he feels safe and secure, and he feels comfortable. He's not worried so much about the uncertainty or haste and pace around. And then we can actually supplement our story by describing the components inside, stating that the lemon energizes, where the bergamot and mint helps you feel comfortable. You pick up some of the components and present them. This is a way more professional skill of how to describe the fragrance. And another important thing, you may put down this information. Our students, they always have access to all the recordings, and our new students, we do invite you, because the previous sessions have been recorded together with Alexander. We are generous trainers, and even new groups of students, we share this information with them, because we find it important not to share, to hide the information, but so that this information is applied in practice. And when is it applied in practice? When you learn how to build your perfume wardrobe, how to grow your business, how to present this collection, and you may share this knowledge further, share it with your business partners, helping them to build a successful business by presenting and developing EvoScent together with us, and taking the company onto the international arena. And now I showed you how you may present the first fragrance, and we will do the same for each skill, for each need. And this is a unique methodology developed by us, me and Alexander, and in non-perfume school of the world, you would never find such a methodology. Please share your feedback in the chat boxes, in particular the guests and the participants of the Perfume Club. How do you find this way to present the fragrances based on the basic needs people have? How do you find this approach to describe the fragrance so that it will satisfy this or that need a person may have? So I am still looking forward to getting your feedbacks in the chat boxes, and we are moving on. We will swap with Alexander, and now it's Alexander's turn. You know why? Together with Mary, we co-host these sessions, because we know that women and men are different. You will not dispute this. And the way to present the information is different. Emotions are different. You know, actually, I hug tenderly our group, and Mary also kisses you. So this is the synergy. I will actually surprise you, but another need, basic need, is a need of uncertainty. The first basic need is the need of certainty, whereas the second basic need is not least important, but it is the need of uncertainty. When we feel uncertain, we panic, but when we feel certain, we feel bored. Therefore, we need a balance. People kill their values to satisfy their needs, no matter how sad it sounds. For instance, betrayal to modify your relations. You may get bored of the same tone of your relations. The questions the women are asking sometimes: why did it happen to me? What did he miss? I'm so tender, I'm so caring, I love him so much, and he still misses something, but he misses this uncertainty. And actually, it is not a sexual webinar, sexuology, how we can make our life diverse. There is a lot of information. You can get it from different resources. But in case of Perfume Club, there is a topic that will be studied, the topic of long-term relations with your clients. And we will touch upon these family relations and many other things. Okay. The example is a betrayal. This is a wrong method of satisfying the needs, which hurts you. So you feel good, but it has a negative effect on us and others. So the needs, when we talk about the needs, you'd better ask yourself a question. When you satisfy a need, is it good for you? Ideally, it should be good for us and should influence well us. We feel good. So we feel good when we satisfy our needs. So whether it is good for us, whether it is good for others, or it has some other benefits. If it is the case, it is good for both, then it's great. But sometimes when you satisfy the need, you feel good, but it is bad for you. It may be good for others, and it does not have or provide some other benefits. For instance, when you drink alcohol, you feel cheered up, you are happy. So when you are drunk, you are cheerful, you are outgoing. But for us, for our body, where our soul lives, is it bad? Yes, it is. Because when you are overdrunk, tomorrow you will feel bad and even longer, because you will, so the organs of your body will suffer. But sometimes you actually may feel it bad, but for us it is good, and for others it is good. For instance, doing sports. We go to the gym, we do the weights up, we sweat, the muscles hurt, so you feel bad after going to the gym. But for you, it is something beneficial. Is it good for the others? Yes, you act as a role model. Does it serve any good? Yes, it does. Good, healthy nation. And nation is made up of separate individuals. You show good example to your children. They do sports. We are their role models, because you may give any information to your children, any story, but they would do only what you do. I believe it was Mark Twain who once said that there is nothing easier than giving up smoking. I gave up smoking many times. And he said that I could tell people how it is good, but I do the opposite. So simply, consider this. The next slide. And our partners generally act as children. We tell them how to do, but they actually do it opposite. A destructive way of satisfying a need can work out in the short term. However, in the long term, it is destruction. Alcohol, betrayals, drugs, and many other methods we may use to satisfy our needs. Therefore, it is important to remember that the destructive methods work short term. They give some results, but long term, they are for nothing. And it is easy to be tempted. So we all understand that to be slim and fit, man, once I read in a book that when a man is a bit more beautiful than a monkey, he is handsome. But ladies are goddess. They're different. They use different methods to make them look more beautiful, including some psychological trainings. So trainings, if they are not financial trainings, but of some personal growth trainings, the frequent goers are women, psychologists. So ladies love it. Ladies take care of their figures, of being fit. They do makeup and etc. And I love women a lot. And you are heroes of our romance, and we men try to make money so that you can satisfy all your needs. This is my model of behavior. But at the same time, I don't want my wife to be gorgeous and I have a huge belly. A banker wakes up in the morning and looks into the mirror. So he is overweight, he is ugly, and his beautiful wife in the bed actually is sleeping, and he thinks, oh, how she loves money because she's still with me. It's a joke, but I believe you take care of your body, of being on a diet, but there is a cake which is quite invisible in your bellies. Or a man, he wasn't smoking for a long time, but then there was a party, he drank a bit and started smoking again. So you should know that there is a need of uncertainty and it should be satisfied in a constructive way. It is always important to understand what need I want to satisfy and do it in the most efficient and user-friendly way. Next slide, please.
So Mary and I are giving you quite a good tool. And I would like to pass the floor to you, Mary, for your recommendations. Okay, thank you, Alexander. As far as the presentation of fragrances in terms of meeting the need for uncertainty is concerned, I think we could bring up the perfume number 5, Fifth Element. This is a fragrance that exceeds all parameters and is a unique creation inspired by the magic and intangibility of ether. The perfume that brings us closer to the boundaries of unknown. It's in between the known and unknown. And we can open the fragrance, spray it on the wrist of the person that we're talking to which we're presenting this fragrance, and we can add here that this fragrance inspires you to creation and experimenting, creating new experiences in your life. And there is a high chance that the person who is head deep in the everyday chores and household duties and had no time to generate some creative ideas or do creative work, all of a sudden, they might remember after breathing in the fifth element fragrance that it's been a while that I drawn anything, or they might remember that they enjoy dancing. So the fifth element is a reminder that you should start experimenting, trying new things in life. And I'm sure that the fragrances from our collection EvoScent will inspire the other person, the person that we're going to talk to, that we're going to present our fragrance to, inspire them towards positive ways of meeting their need for uncertainty. And it's going to be useful for that person who, and by adding more colors to their life on the one hand, and on the other hand, it will make them happier. And all of it can be accompanied by the fragrance number 5, fifth element. So this is what you can say when you apply that fragrance, and you can try and meet the person's need for changing something and they've been putting it off all the time. You can inspire them. And the synergy of how our fragrance sounds plus the correct description. Let me remind you, this is a composition that inspires to create and start experimenting, creating new experiences in your life. You can express it in your own words, of course, because we're giving you the basics that would be great if you passed it through your own experience and come up with new creative phrases, statements. What matters is to deliver the essence using our examples. And this is how you create a wonderful symphony of the fragrance and the idea that it is time to start doing something new, being creative. You can start discussing it with the person, see how creative they are, whether they're ready to be creative, whether their life is diverse, full of new events. And then you can continue in the same flow and tell them how fragrance number 5, fifth element, can help that person to meet their need for uncertainty without inflicting harm on the people around them, their husbands, their wives, to make it in the most constructive way, to meet that need in the most constructive way. And I would like to pass the floor back to Alexander and see what our next need is. Thank you very much, Mary. Let's go to the next slide, please. And I wanted to ask, how much would you be ready to pay to meet your need for uncertainty in an eco-friendly way? But I want it, but I won't. So let it be suspended in the air. So the third need is the need for significance, meaningfulness. In other words, it's the need for us to be necessary or significant to someone else. This is the need to have a purpose in our lives, to feel unique. So ways to achieve it. Well, there are destructive ways, which is to belittle others. Violence is another way. When a person doesn't have money or resources, and a person starts being violent, and via that violence, they try to meet their need for significance. Very often when we see that a person used to be a kind person, pleasant person in his family relations, and all of a sudden problems started pouring in, the crisis in the country, he was fired, he started drinking, being violent, harsh, etc. It's not that they broke bad or became sour. No, it's the basic need for significance. Let's go to the next slide. And that need needs to be met, needs to be satisfied. Now I have a question to you. So you can answer that question in the chat, or you can answer it in your notebooks, but you should do it. So what do you do to make yourself feel unique and meaningful. In order to be meaningful, we need to stand out. Some people use clothes for that, others use talents, some people use their degrees, education, some people make tattoos and piercing, etc. Of course, it will make us stand out and we will become unique. It will add some meaningfulness to us, but we will become drastically different. One thing is when you dyed your hair in a strange color. Someone says money and knowledge. Well, yes. You know, my workmate once told me that her husband came to her and it was an advanced family, sophisticated, and that child said, Dad and Mom, I would like to dye my hair blue and I would like to pierce my nose. You know, like bulls wear in cartoons. And I would like to have a tattoo. So I would like to have a tattoo, a piercing in my nose, and I would like to dye my hair bluish violet color. So they showed me on the picture. So they had a family council. Those guys are quite wise. Of course, if a child wants to stand out, they will do it anyways. Of course, it's good that that child came to their parents to ask their permission because that child was financially dependent on them. Just 14 years old. It's not an adult child. So they had a family council and they told him, you know, so we had this council here and we decided that we cannot allow you to do everything, but you can dye your hair blue if you want to. So they chose the lesser of three evils because you can dye your hair back to your natural color. A piercing in your nose, it's not very good, but a tattoo is very difficult to get rid of. So that child walked around with this unique hair color, was ridiculed, and he came back to his parents and told him, like, I would like to have my natural color back. Thank you for not allowing me to have my nose pierced and the tattoo. So his parents were wise. They could have prohibited everything, but they didn't. And the child might have got all three just to spite them because he wanted to feel meaningful. So if you want to show your meaningfulness, you need to do it in a pleasant, easygoing way, eco-friendly way, and not a destructive way. And it's preferable that the way you chose to stand out is reversible, that you could reverse it. Unfortunately, leaders do not have too many friends. And at the peak of the mountain, you feel lonely. At the bottom of the mountain, there are crowds of people who haven't climbed that mountain because it's too difficult. They didn't really need it. They're afraid of heights and many, many other reasons or excuses that people could came up with. Whereas the leader stands on top of the mountain, taking in all that beauty, enjoying that landscape, but that leader is doing it alone. So it is very important that when you meet your need for significance, remember that money and knowledge, I saw that answer in the chat. Knowledge is good and money is good too. But again, the question is, are you going to show it off? Because Mary and I, we try to deliver our information in an understandable human language. Well, Mary is a goddess and I'm just a normal down-to-earth person. And I wanted to tell you that we're doing our best. And even if we're trying to show off, we do it in a narrow circle of people. I invite people to my house, but I invite very few people to my house because there were people, my friends told me that people after visiting my house are telling behind my back that he's quite well off, filthy rich, has a big house, driving a nice SUV, etc. Because I enjoy expensive things. I'm wearing a cross because I'm a Christian, and aesthetically too, it's pleasing. And my cross has diamonds in it, and there was an acquaintance who said he couldn't buy himself a normal cross like gold, silver, but without diamonds. No, instead he put diamonds in his cross, and they're shining bright all around. But we need to understand that when you stand out, you isolate yourself. And when you become rich, wealthy, your circle of communication changes too. Because if you're rich and around you people are poor, they will drag you down. And if you're poor and you're surrounded by rich people, they will drag you to them. They will become rich too. Henry Ford said that if you think that you can, or if you think you can't, in any case, you're right. It's this the jar of pickles principle. If you put a fresh cucumber in a jar of pickles, no matter whether it wants or not, it will become a pickle too. So remember that significance is an important need, but it should be satisfied in a pleasant, nice, eco-friendly way. Let's go to the next slide. Now I'd like to pass the floor to Mary. Thank you, Alexander. And now I would like to give you an example of Basalt, a bright, amazing fragrance that can help you meet your need for self-realization, for the need to stand out, to be creative, to set creative mood. And Basalt is a fragrance, is the symphony that will allow its owner to appear wearing this perfume and attract everyone's attention by standing out among others. This is a very bright, unique, original fragrance that will hit the mark, the target, and will meet the need to stand out. It will satisfy the need to be unique in a pleasant, aromatic way, original way. So if you already know that fragrance, share your feedback with me that you agree that this is a fragrance that attracts other people's interest, that it's not a common fragrance. In my experience, I see people are surprised, amazed with the uncommonness of this fragrance. At the same time, you want to feel that composition over and over again. So this is one of the ways to meet that need. And I would like to give the floor back to Alexander for us to look into the next need that we all have. Well, yesterday I put Basalt on myself and they almost stole me away. So I had to resist, fight back. So the sense of unity, this is the next basic need. And let me tell you this, I'm sure that right now, when you listen to me and Mary, you realize that yes, it is important for me. Yes, I want it. Yes, I need it. But sometimes it happens that we do not feel the need, those basic important needs right away, but whether we know them don't know about them, feel them or don't feel them right now, they're still there. But you say, forewarned is forearmed. So the next need is the need of unity. It's the relationship with others, your family, children, team, God, communication with nature, connection with yourself, your pet. It's charity, clubs or teams. It's admiring the beauty of art through cinematography as well. And there are negative, neutral, and positive ways of satisfying these needs or this need. Make a person feel special, meaningful, and needed. give what you want for yourself. Let me tell you that pets, they satisfy the need of unity and significance, because if you have a pet, it depends fully or almost fully on you, like walking out, food, etc. So I'm a dog person, and I know that if I leave just for a second my house, and just to give the documents away, and I can come back 1 second later, the dog meets me as if I was away for 2 years. They're really excited. Cats are different, whereas a dog sees God in their master, because the master gives food, drink, they walk with them, play with them. Cats think they are gods, and people serve them by bringing them food, water, different entertainment, etc. It's all for them. But nevertheless, especially elderly people who, because of the life circumstances, became lonely, they get themselves pets because it satisfies two needs right away: the need for significance and unity. You might have noticed that many people talk to their pets, although the pets never answer, but still, it's a need. Multi-level marketing, it satisfies the need of unity, because for a person to have a good interaction with society, they need 3 pillars. Imagine a stool with 2 legs. It's dangerous, it's shaking. Whereas a stool with 3 legs, it's already enough legs for a person to be comfortable and safely sit on that table, feel comfortable, meet the need for certainty, etc. So most people have 2 points of interaction with society, which is family, number 1. That's why I say most people, but unfortunately not everyone has a family. And the second one is the work or the business the person does, or studies if a person is a student. So most people have 2 legs, 2 pillars of that stool, whereas the third leg is something people are looking for. They go to different hobbies, they go to the church, and people go to the church not only to communicate with God, but with other people as well. Multi-level marketing, like different clubs, dances, gym, fitness, knitting, and so on, because this is a very important basic need. And people usually satisfy this need in different ways. In family relations, it is very important for the woman to show both unity and the significance of a man. The woman needs to praise the man, because many women think that they feed their man and they satisfy their physiological needs, and that's it. It's done. But men in the chat, you can give me a 5 in the chat if you agree. For men, it is important to be praised. Imagine. So it's not the man making compliment to a woman, but a woman should tell her man that she loves him, he's important, he's a breadwinner, even though he did not bring back home like the entire mammoth, but only the trunk piece of a mammoth, but it's already enough. Of course, more would be better, but some silly women, they nag their husbands, like, you earn less than our neighbor, John. He drives a Mercedes and we barely have a Subaru. So basically, in this case, a man does not feel the unity, significance, and there is a whole need of basic needs. It is important for men to be praised for any small thing. They extend their hand to help the woman get out of the car. Tell them that, thank you, you're a gentleman. If they bring back home the salary, it might not be $10,000 or $1,000. I don't know what's the minimum wage, but let it be any amount. So thank him for that money too, and tell them that you're ready to do anything for that money to multiply. Be their muse. Give them food for thought and not negativity, because tomorrow he will come and say, you know what? There is a woman who is okay with me in all aspects, and probably with that woman, that man will become enlightened, a millionaire, or anything else, because everything that happens in the man's life is thanks to our goddesses, thanks to women, because it is through women that the energy comes into man's life, not from the gym, not from the alcohol or anything else. But no matter how strange it sounds, it comes through women. The man either gets or doesn't get the energy, which later he transforms into different benefits for that woman: wealth, luxury, and many other basic needs. Can we go to the next slide, please? I here pass the floor to Mary. Thank you, Alexander, for a very clear-cut delivery of information with examples about the need for unity. I enjoy listening to Alexander when he delivers information, because even if it's difficult information or if it's purely theoretical, thanks to real life examples that Alexander gives, it's easy to remember and put into practice. So as for the need for unity, of course, Tantric in this case will become the symphony of fruity, floral, and woody notes that will attract people, just like bees to nectar. And you will be surrounded by attention, compliments, and care from others. It will be a fragrance that could be a great reason to get to know each other and probably create new relationships. And believe me, when you present the Tantric with this kind of message, I am sure that the desire to have that fragrance, especially for people who have the dire need for unity, team, and having a family and looking for relations, when they will listen, hear the Tantric fragrance, because we're not just describing it, but we're also applying it. So this is the technique, the method that we use when selecting the fragrance. Of course, this fragrance will reveal itself from a different perspective to that person. So also, we have one more fragrance in our collection that can be presented in order to meet the need for unity. Let's move on to the next slide. And of course, I think you've already guessed it, that it's a bright goldish fragrance, number 7, Dynamic Gold. This is a sparkling fragrance that seems like flirting with others with its playful notes of golden light. Active, warm, and flowing dynamic fragrance is sure to become a great addition to your mood when you are with your family and friends. It's a fragrance that brings people together and unites them. So here's the description that we can give in order to stress how bright, flirty, and playful dynamic gold fragrance is, and how it can give the opportunity to have a nice time with your loved ones and friends and bring people together. I saw in the chat people were asking, and I realized that our Perfume Club students already know the answer to that question regarding what numbers in our collection, in our presentation sets, which fragrances are for women and which are for men. Let me answer that question. In our collection of EvoScent Fragrancy, the highest collection, and we have for now 8 of them, and each of them is suitable both for men and women. In our basic course, we go on a history tour, and I tell students that in the past, there was no distinction between compositions scents for men and women. It is a trick of the contemporary marketologist in order to have, for people to have more reasons to buy more fragrances and to have a diverse perfumery fragrances at their home. But the high-level niche perfumery is unisex. It's created in such a way, and our fragrances are so lively that when touching your skin, the fragrance has individual notes revealed for each of us. And it underlines both men's and women's image. It creates mood, sets the mood, both for women and men. So be brave, experiment, and get rid of all the prejudices related to gender, female or male, and regard our collection as a masterpiece. Because I always ask, for whom Picasso painted his paintings? For men or women? For both. And similarly, Ramon Behar created his collection for both. It's all about your individual perception and how your heart and soul responds to individual fragrances. And we also teach people to select their perfume wardrobe based on their individual taste and needs. And we will do it also during our practical exercises as well. So this is the answer to the question that I saw somewhere in the chat. And now, oh, thank you, by the way, for your feedback, because I see that the person who asked that question now, after our session, will be a step higher in their professional growth career in the world of perfumery. Now they will remember it, and now they will be able to answer this answer professionally when that question will be asked to you. And it will be asked for sure by people who will be familiarizing with our presentation sets and will be ordering the 75 milliliter bottles. And now you'll be able to answer that question in the correct and nice way. So take this practical answer to your arsenal. And now I'd like to pass the floor to my colleague, Alexander.
Thank you, Mary, for your explanation and clarification. Okay. Before we start another need, I'd like to say the following. You know, fragrance number 3 and number 7 are my favorites. And it seems that they will be most demanded as we have the statistics. So it seems 3 and 7, like in a special novel. So they hit the records, perfume number 3 and number 7, at least for the time being. Okay, the needs. Need number 5 is the need of growth and development. Most people are happy when they realize their talents and expand their limits, their potential and capacities. This is the reason why we study. We attend different seminars, workshops, webinars, People who study, they are always in harmony. And this is done by the universe. We either develop or degrade. So it's like an elevator going up. So we should always move. We should always be active, climbing up. Because when we stop, we actually push backwards, downwards. And there are many examples. For instance, professional athletes. It seems that they are doing sports over their life, but when they stop, they have a lot of healthy problems. I am not saying that they become professional athletes, making a lot of money, and they start living life to the full. Drugs, alcohol, staying overnight. This is the fast way to be on the downward path. But even without doing this, simply stopping doing sports, I go to a good gym. So there is a luxury package. Why did I buy it? Because wealthy people are there. Wealthy people, they always discuss their business, some new tricks. You cannot even imagine which talks there are in the swimming pool or in the sauna after swimming, and they sit down to drink alcohol-free cocktail. You can hear so many interesting tips you would never find, but being surrounded in a comfortable environment, there are a lot of professional athletes who come to the gym and share the stories of their peers who actually gave up sports. They quit it. They even stopped to keep fit and go to the gym. And instantly they get health problems. Generally, so common health problems. Or a person knowing that he should keep a diet based on his blood group, because for different blood groups there are different food products. So we've heard of this, but to choose your diet based on your group of blood, it's not difficult. And you would see that if you actually eat the products that match your group of blood, you would feel better, firstly. Secondly, it will be delicious. It will taste delicious. Maybe not everything will be delighting you, but at least there are products, some exotic fruits, for instance, for my group of blood. I like them so much, but I've never heard of them before. And, you know, I decided to get some information. I talked to a dietologist, nutritionist, and I was given my diet. I talked to a coach in the gym, and he gave me my diet as well, nutrition. Of course, there are no fried potatoes, because potato is not good for human beings, quite a surprise. And there are such products which do not match, like meat and potatoes and some other mayonnaise, salads. So it's something crazy, because this is a mix of those products that do not match each other. But as part of your basic needs, it's important to understand that, like I said before, our body is where our soul lives. In different religions, they say that the spirit is, the soul is eternal, but the body unfortunately decays. And therefore, quite quite often we are careless towards our body, and you should actually develop compared to your version, not compared to others. Every day, ask yourself a question. Every evening, I sum up the outcomes of the day and plan my next day, because at midnight, a new day starts, although I'm sleeping. So the day starts and my brain works on the new tasks, but the schedule is done next morning. This is the way how I do. But you know, every evening I do an analysis of my day and I ask this important question, whether today I am a better version of myself than tomorrow, not compared to your classmate, but compared to myself, whether I'm better or not. I ask myself a question, what can I do to grow further and develop higher? And I try to use to the maximum extent the balance. Take and give. When I get some valuable, important information, I ask myself a question, how can I be grateful to this person? If the course is paid, it's quite simple. After buying the course, this is your gratitude. The payment is your gratitude. But today's session is free. Ask me a question, how to keep this balance? Put down this question in the chat. How can we keep the balance? If you believe that you need to be grateful for the information you learned today, so to advertise you, for instance, I will choose any option. So there is a question, how to keep this balance? Actually, the answer is to promote us, to promote me and Mary. But you know, the content we share with you, and from your end, we need a balance to be kept. And it would be great if you give a feedback in Evorich and EvoSend group. If you ask me which group, I will tell you all the groups. And how to do it, I will tell you. So copy paste. Because regularly we are asked, does the Evorich community like Perfume Academy? Do they like the information you share? So we answer, the students, our students, like it, but I don't know whether the community likes it or not. And therefore, we decided actually to run this free work session, like someone said, to advertise ourselves. Yes, actually, yes, you're right, because we are professionals and we are not ashamed to advertise and promote ourselves. So you get valuable information and you will be thankful this way by leaving your feedback. So the need of growth and development. Ask yourself a question, what am I interested in? Where would I like to go, and how it could improve the financial standing of myself and my family, and how could or which contribution can I make to the development of our company, of our community. And then the need of growth and development could be satisfied quite simply through the paid and free methods. So actually, I wanted to tell you that we will make a promotion, we'll give you a gift, but I will come to it a bit later. So we planned to have a session of 2.5 hours, and as professional, we would like to be in this timing. So my favorite, dynamic gold. Okay, so it is quite favorite, by the way. We actually, it's not dynamic gold. This is greatness. Number 2 is greatness. And this is the fragrance which is based on endless energy of the powerful flower tuberose. And greatness will allow all of us to satisfy the needs Alexander described above. Decorated with the sounds of royal rose flowers, jasmine and violets, the fragrance awakens the desire to move forward, develop and conquer new heights. The sound of this composition brings out confidence. Everything that was before as a fantasy will come true. By presenting and describing greatness, we, by the way, we can satisfy these needs and wake up in a person a desire to grow, to develop, the desire to conquer new heights. So please show me your reactions if at present you are tasting greatness, or you remember how it smells and you really feel that this is the perfume which inspires and gives strength to move forwards. Okay, great. In the Russian chat, we see active users. Great. And it seems that the English chat is sleeping. By the way, from my experience, creative people, creative men in particular, like this perfume, greatness. So take note of the preferences, because, you know, some kind of people like this or that smell, and you may take note of this. And we are moving on, and the next slide here, and another need will be presented by Alexander. I hand over back to him. Thank you, Mary. Thanks a lot. I will actually damage the rules of the niche perfumes. You know, perfume number 2 in our collection is womanish, femaleish. This is my subjective opinion. And quite a surprise that this fragrance is liked by women and creative men. I am not going to say that something bad to them. So these are unisex fragrances. So it is liked by men who are good in creativity. And, you know, I was quite surprised that my favorite fragrance is number 2, and the name is wrong, but Mary corrected it. Okay, so basic need number 6 is to make contribution to the world and go beyond your limits. We will not talk about the pyramids of needs of persons. It's like an upper step in the ladder. And like Maslow pyramid, but to make your contribution to the external world and go beyond is the need each person has. But quite often it is satisfied by those people whose other needs are satisfied. You know, when you don't need to earn a bread and you are more or less satisfied about your life, these people try to make contributions to the external world. If you notice, most wealthy, richest people, the people who make up only 2% of the global population, so they mostly do charity. They focus this contribution to the external world. They help the people in need. I remember I watched a recording of a conference where one spiritual man talked about Bill Gates, saying that should he have as much money as Bill Gates, I would be ashamed that one person keeps in his hands so much money. But secondly, he said that he would spend 15 or 18 hours a day to invest into some charitable projects to help people in need. But you know, in any case, we all know that we need to pay our contribution, not to ourselves only paying a salary, but we need to help others through our contribution. And by the way, those people who pay 1/10 of their money, either they donate it to the church or as a donation to someone else, so it is back many times more. So it pays back a lot. And how does it all work? And the processes of energy, esoterics, we will not discuss it, but it is evidenced, proved. People who even don't earn a lot, but donate 1/10 of their income, they earn more. And people who don't do it, I would not say that something is wrong with them, but they violate this basic need. It's like quit drinking liquid abruptly. A person may survive without food longer than without water, and without air, I am not even mentioning this. This is what is inside us. This is our basic need. In our company, so we are blessed to invest in different projects, invest in ourselves, because when you invest in your education, in your development, this is the best investment, which pays back many times. Together with Mary, when we have regular meeting with the project managers, we are a bit surprised because people buy packages that include trainings. We know that they do it to earn gift points. They do it as a long-term investment. Someone plans to use these perfumes in the bottles. There are those who actually believe that they would sell this all, but there is a question, how will you do it without taking a training? But you know, so there are people who even do not open their basic course. There is a question, why did you buy the package? What will you do next? As an intention of a long-term investment, it's a good option, but we should remember that we are a grain of something bigger, a particle of something bigger. We are at the same time a consumer. We are people who promote this project, and we are investors. And if people as investors invested money, got some points, and they are waiting for someone else to buy the product and promote these products, this is a position which does not satisfy your 6 basic needs, that is to make contributions to the world. If we believe that the business will be made instead of us by someone else, and we will get dividends. And imagine, I don't want to deepen this topic, but for a second, think that everyone will follow the same approach. Everyone invests and no one develops the business. No one develops the company, but we'll be waiting for someone else to do it. And we, as investors, will earn our dividends. It is not the way the new is built. New economic evolution means that we are consumers, promoters, and investors at the same time. And our task after today's meeting is to get not only useful and handy information. Hopefully today you learned a lot of this information, but you will be encouraged and motivated to develop, to study, to go beyond, but at the same time to make your contribution and make your contribution to your development, to the development of this world and the development of the company. This is one of the tasks we, together with Mary, had, and we hope a lot that today we managed to share the information about the basic needs, the perfumes, and we managed to motivate you for active development of the business, because no matter how sad it sounds, no one would take care of you better than you can do it. No one would take care of your family rather than you. No one would take care of the company rather than the participants of this company. We will get dividends only when we are all deeply and actively involved in the process. And this is one of the tasks of mine and Mary, to share the information. And the next slide.
Mary, I would like to pass the floor to you. Thank you very much, Alexander. Well, the wealthy spirit fragrance is the fragrance that you can truly call great. It's a fragrance for great deeds. And it's all about leaving a mark, a trace, and contribute not only to the lives of your loved ones, but it's so rich that it inspires you to start thinking and start changing the course of history of the entire humanity. It's a great composition to discover your true calling, fully discover 100%. So this is how you can describe this fragrance and the philosophy behind the fragrance wealthy spirit, in order to deliver, convey the idea, the message, and to inspire everyone who will smell the fragrance number 8, wealthy spirit, and to inspire them to contribute to the benefit the humanity and share their talents, to put their talents to good use and create goodness around themselves. We will continue our conversation. I will pass the floor here to Alexander. He will still have a couple of words to say, and I'm very pleased to read your positive feedback in the chat. It's very good that you enjoyed our lesson. After all, this class is an open door class, but it is part of the closed Perfume Academy, the Perfume Club course. And we will, in a couple of minutes, I will give the floor to Alexander, and he will share with you what kind of courses we have, what they consist of, and what the difference is. Because yesterday at our presentation, we talked about the basic course in detail, but we have other courses as well that we will describe right now, give a brief overview, what kind of courses we have in our EvoSchool project. Now I'd like to pass the floor to Alexander. Yes, thank you very much. I'm with you. Can we go please to the next slide? And one more. Thank you. As for the Perfume Academy, it's not going to be like a public service announcement or something. So I wanted to tell you just that some of our guests that are attending our webinar today who have purchased EvoSend packages also might have received the basic course as part of the package. We suggest that you take that course because this course will not be available forever. So we had a discussion and we decided that the course will have some shelf life because after all, information changes, some information might not be relevant anymore. So if in your packages you had the basic course, then I suggest you attend it, you take it as soon as possible. If you have problems with finding it, or you have not found the letter in your email box or with the access link, you can ask your question in the EvoSend group in Telegram and get your answers to your questions. The moderators will help you with that. They might send you the same letter a second time, and probably you will use the search engine in your email service to find that letter and start studying. I see some people that have purchased the EvoSend package but cannot find the link to the basic course. I suggest you find that link. Some people are asking, how can we take that course? Well, I'll tell you right now. As for the basic course, let me first tell you about the course itself and then where to find them. So the course lasts 1 month. It's cost 200 units or dollars. So what is the contents of the course? First of all, it's an overview of the history of perfume, the role of scents and fragrances in human life, the criteria for selecting fragrances. We are looking in more detail into it. Factors that affect the persistence of fragrances or long-lasting nature of fragrances, because some factors do not depend on the fragrance only, but on our lifestyle, how we apply it, where we apply it, in what places. Properties of high-quality fragrances for you to be able to show off and to tell people how you can check the quality of a fragrance. Then rules for storing perfumes. This is a very important thing because many people store their fragrances in the bathroom on the shelf, which is against the rules because there might be radical changes in the humidity and temperature. Next is the perfume or fragrance etiquette, because French people say that if a person wearing too much perfume, it means that person lacks culture. So we're telling our students about the fragrance etiquette, how to observe it, where to put fragrances on in order to have the long-lasting effect, so that the fragrance would reveal itself gradually. Next, we're looking into the fragrance wardrobe. This is what I touched upon briefly today. In the basic course, we are looking into it in more detail and we're giving our recommendations. So what are the benefits of the basic course? It's an express dive into the perfume industry. So you get certain specific terminology for you to be able to speak more professionally on this topic. The understanding of how to choose fragrances for yourselves and people around you, especially those who purchased EvoSend packages with a certain number of bottles in it. Then the question is which one to choose, especially if we're talking about big packages with dozens of 75 milliliter bottles. I'm not talking about 50 bottles, but even more than a dozen is already grounds to think which one to choose for yourselves and which one to sell. Increasing EvoSend brand loyalty via conscious use of the product. because I personally receive compliments, because I deliver presentations. Mary and we break down fragrances continuously. We use the presentation sets that we ordered and use fragrances in it. We receive compliments on a daily basis, and our list of pre-orders is growing on a daily basis. One thing is when you are in an elevator and the lady is asking you which floor you are going to, or which office do you work at, and they invite that lady to our to my presentation. It's not like I made an impression. And she says, I'm in love. And I says, I'm married, have 2 children. And she said, no, I'm in love with your fragrance, with your perfume. And here's my potential client. And then I learn that this lady works in our office building, and she owns a big company that takes up several floors. So this is my prospect that can purchase a whole perfume wardrobe from me. The next is the online training tool for perfume consultants. So we are giving methods that you can use in future in your work when, for example, the basic course includes the sales block, and that's where we tell about offline and online sales, the so-called low-hanging fruit that you can reach your hand to and make a sale right away. And we're talking also about virtual methods, like through social media, how to set up your sales funnel, how to set up your customer flow. But in the basic course, we're giving you the basic knowledge. You won't be able to dive deeply into the long-term sales, prolonged sale, when you build a long-lasting relationship with your client. When I say to each client that I'm providing you a lifelong warranty, and any questions that you have about perfumery for yourself, your loved ones, and if you want to make a gift to someone, just call me. And usually I give them my business card. I do it either in the beginning or at the end of the meeting when the person felt the value, and I tell them about the lifelong warranty. And so we are giving you the short-term and long-term sales, how to build a long-term relationship, because after all, 100 clients will be enough for you that will be making a purchase from us once every 3 months. It will be enough for you to make your minimum wage of $1,500 or $2,000, and you won't have to look for other clients. You just receive your quality clients and you receive their referrals. If you need more, well, you'll get more. This is as far as the basic course is concerned, and its price is $200. And it's about you setting up your perfume business. Let's go to the next slide. So advanced course is the course that is a must buy. Mary and we are quite expensive specialists. Our deals bring quite a lot of money. Our courses usually cost way more than the prices we offer to the Evorich community right now. I've been friends with Andrey Khovratov for quite a long time, and in this difficult situation that we are having right now, I think it is my duty to make my contribution to the company to support the business in such a difficult time. Although right now, I already see quite a lot of promises. I know what to do, how to develop business, and I take my hat off to people who have been with this company for many years. If you're doing everything correctly, by now everything should be great. The next course is the advanced course, as I said. It's a must-have course. Until the 31st of August, there is a promotion that we ran for the summer months. And with the end of the summer, the promotion ends as well. on the 31st of August, and I suggest you don't delay too much. Consider it the 30th of August. So don't wait until the 31st. This is a wonderful promotion, and I don't know any other opportunity to better invest in yourself. So the advanced course will cost $300 instead of $700 until the end of August. So the savings here is more than 50%, which is quite a profitable investment. So what is the course program? Well, it includes, of course, all the basic course lessons that you can go through several times. It also includes the art of perfume sales. It's a big practical block. It also includes working with the audience in social media and messengers. We show how to build your sales funnel that will bring continuous income to you. We also give you practical skills in selecting a fragrance wardrobe. We are looking into the practical aspects of it, and with some of the students, we select their perfume wardrobe online in real time. Next is organizing aroma show perfume events, where you can get together quite a lot of potential clients in one place, and you using the time that you would spend for a meeting with one person, you would use to make a mass scale sales. Also, we're giving you techniques how to present your product, not at your own events, but events run by third parties. And they will agree to that because aroma show is something entertaining, and it's also a way of doing advertising. The next is perfume business collaboration with the beauty industry. We're showing how to work with beauty parlors, how to work with male and female coaches. We're showing the complex integrated sales because basic courses are about the retail sales, where the advanced course is about even wholesale sales, and also working with network and retail. Those who took the advanced course, they will receive a certificate that will allow them, give them the right to work with retail chains, with shops and perfume bloggers. And we're doing it in order to make sure that people who present the EvoScent brand do it on a professional level and not like amateurs who would blunder around and wouldn't know what language to use, because the owner of the perfume store speaks a professional language. They will be using some words that many people never heard about, and you won't hear about them during the basic course either. So it's easier to make big deals if you speak the same language with the person. And if you speak the same professional language with them, it's even better and easier. The benefits of this course. First of all, it's the practice of selecting fragrances and skills of presenting the EvoScent collection, searching and negotiating with perfume market players and influencers in the perfume industry, organizing master classes and EvoScent collection presentation, and practice of building a perfume business. So those are the gains. Well, of course, all of those topics are impossible to put into the basic course in 1 month. Even 3 months are almost sufficient. We're tightly squeezing this content into a 3-month course. And the professional course, or the perfume club, as we call it, it takes an entire year. Whereas at the basic course, you can watch the video lessons and do your homework. And if you do it, you receive a diploma. If not, then you just listen it for yourself. At the advanced course, you will have an examination to receive your certificate, because after all, it's more serious work than at the professional course. Mary and I, well, basically, you hire us in your team for an entire year, and you pay only $1,500. $1,500. You get 2 perfume professionals in your team for an entire year. However, until the 31st of August, you have almost a 70% discount, and you get to pay only $500. So for $500, you hire into your team 2 specialists. And I'm not even saying how much it would be on a monthly basis. It's too little, like $60 per month or less. But $500 a year, usually this is not the money that Mary and I work for. Let me tell you more. We're not even working for $1,500 for 1 year. When we work with one student to whom we give 2 hours a day, 3 times a week for 1 month, this is the kind of money that we get for it. But here we're talking about 1 year course with the feedback, live feedback. In the advanced course, you get to receive the feedback from the moderator as a group. In the professional course, it implies 2 individual consultations, by the way. If you want to get ready for a meeting with the director of a big perfume store chain, you can use this option. You can first tell us what kind of chain it is, what it's all about, and we'll fully prepare you professionally for that meeting. And there will be 2 such individual big scale consultations. Plus, it implies individual feedback. During all our Perfume Club sessions, we start our sessions from Q&A. You can ask all of your questions. In the Perfume Club, for example, people do not ask when we're going to get our presentation sets, because they know already when they're going to get them, or at least they understand the situation. And Mary and I, on our side, we try to speed up that process. For example, today, I personally, with these hands, sent around 20 sets across Ukraine to people's addresses so that our partners would receive them as soon as possible. So if you are in Ukraine, then you can go to me, reach out to me. I'm in Kiev, and I can speed up your receiving your presentation set. We received them from Dubai to Spain, from Spain to Poland, from Poland to Ukraine. And now, finally, I can help our partners receive their presentation sets. But it's not like it's an option of the Perfume Club. No, it's because we know already each other in person. We all turn our cameras on. We can see each other eye to eye, and we can ask questions, receive our answers. And we can do that during each session of the Perfume Club. Plus, we invite opinion leaders to our Perfume Club courses. Ramon Bejar, Sergio Mateo. We invite stylists that help choose the clothes wardrobe and combine it with the perfume wardrobe. We invite influencers and opinion leaders. Plus, quite a lot of information is prepared by Mary and I for our Perfume Club lessons, like handmade material based on the current needs of our students. It's a 1-year course. It will also be recorded, but now there is a chance to connect, join, and participate in for still half a year in all our live sessions. You can ask your questions, receive your individual consultations. Mary and I, we fully realize that when 75 milliliter bottles will be sent and people will have them on their hands, then people will gladly buy the Perfume Club for $1,500 in order to get ready for at least one meeting with the owner of the perfume store or chain of stores. But it is better to prepare yourself in advance, because when you get your 75 milliliter bottles, there will be quite a lot of hype. People will be running around across perfume stores offering those perfumes. Again, those who received accreditation, certification, because even if you found a perfume store and you're not prepared, then it will be very difficult for you to sell something that you don't know about at the professional level. And second of all, it's not really welcome because it is violation of the brand's policy. So you will have to take at least the advanced course to get the necessary knowledge, and that's where it will be easy for you to talk on a professional language. Mary and I were trying to train as many professionals as possible so that it would be easy for you to sign a deal with a perfume store where people come to buy perfumery. Most perfume stores, especially chain of stores, have their own VIP client base. They know how to reach out to them, how to call them, what to write them. It might be a letter with a nice ribbon sent by snail mail so that they would receive it personally and it would smell nice and they would come to the store to feel the fragrance. Of course, those people who are well trained, they will be able to sign deals very quickly. So what is a perfume network? It's, after all, your conveyor belt of money. There will be a continuous cash flow coming your way from the already existing network of client base. So this is what working with perfume stores and chain of stores is all about. This is quite important. And here, the public service announcement is over. Let's go to the next slide, because Mary and I are very fond of our business. We can talk about it incessantly, but we are running out of time. So where to buy EvoSend courses, how you can order them? Well, first of all, let me tell you, repeat that by the end of August, I don't know whether we'll have such promotion or not, but we still have it by the end of until the end of August. It's quite profitable. Next, there is an installment plan too for courses. I'm not sure, by the way, if it applies to the promotion or not, but the promotion is profitable as it is. But you can purchase courses in installments as well and pay in parts. You can take first the basic course, then pay the difference and go to the advanced course. So you can move from one course to another by paying the difference. But this is less profitable than buying immediately the Perfume Club and get access to all three courses, because the Perfume Club includes the basic course and the advanced course. The professional course includes the basic course and the professional course. So you go to your back office in the Evorich back office, you go to the section trainings, you find EvoSend Academy there, you click on the button and you'll see all the packages, options, installments, etc. Let's go to the next slide, please. And well, join the list of enthusiasts ready to participate in EvoSend business. There are action takers groups, Mila, Armand, they get together groups of active people. We participate in those groups too. And we have Perfume Academy in Telegram. Mary, if you're here with us, could you please share the link to the open group in Telegram? Well, of course, all of our groups for all courses are closed and everyone has access to their own groups. Those who have basic course will have access to the basic course, advanced course students will have access to the advanced course, and professional to professionals. But professionals will have access to all these three groups. But the professional course group is sufficient to get all the necessary information. But there is a chance to be added to the closed group of the basic group and the advanced course. So the highest course includes all the lower level course with less content. And also for the feedback, we have an open group where you can ask your questions. Again, you can ask your questions relating to EvoSchool in the EvoSend groups. If Mary and I didn't see them, the moderator will tell us about them. If you can add yourself, join our Instagram accounts. We're not bloggers, but you can ask your questions there as well. You can write directly to us. My nickname is Alex Dolin. Mary will write her name in the chat if she's still with us at this meeting, because we are quite busy. So this is the main basic information that I wanted to share with you. Let's go to the next slide if we have one. So Mary wrote her nickname, her account. So let me give it to you. This is Mary's account. And this is the last slide. Good. Well, friends, we'll be waiting for your feedback, which is quite important for you. We have the hidden rating. So Mary gave the link to the open Perfume Academy group, where you can ask your questions if you didn't get access to your course, or you got access but you weren't able to follow through. Write in the group and we'll get you in touch with our moderators. So you can use the chat if you're using so perfume number 4, someone says that we haven't said. Our perfume number 4 is Paradigma, that we haven't covered. Yeah, it was about making contribution. So we have one more fragrance number 8, but it has number 4, Paradigma. So you can read the description, and I will read it out to you, because it's an aristocratic hints of the fragrance, inspire confidence that there are no unrealistic dreams. It's just you need more time to realize them. And this fragrance is just what you need when you have a request to go beyond your limits and find a creative solution.
This way, you enrich your balance and capacity, and you have new strength. And this is our fragrance. Thanks for your reminder. And now, actually, 101%, we completed what was planned. The links, I shared them, the links to our groups, Telegram group, Perfume Academy, and for the participants of the basic course, if you have a basic course in the packages, then you will get access and you may join Telegram groups. And in our closed group, we share a lot of information, answer your questions. And if you have the basic course, so this is a good chance to be in the closed group. There is a lot of valuable information that will be handy. And please note that the basic course has no discounts and the price is quite affordable. But the advanced course and the professional course till the end of August, there are great discounts. Don't miss out on them. I strongly encourage you to invest into your business and your development. And we will be grateful for your feedbacks. In the feedbacks, we recommend you to put down the following: your name and last name. They are quite often. Put it down which country and city you are from, so that we see who is in the lead. And most importantly, share your impressions. After getting this information, your internal state. If you share some tips in your feedback, you're welcome. But most importantly, we'd like you to convey how you felt. whether you like it or not. And the words of gratitude. So we are always open to your gratitude. It's like gasoline for a car. You motivate us for new victories. And perfumes, perfumery, perfume world is full of money. It is rich. And it is all in our hands whether we will develop actively and promote the project. It's very important because now we are at stage 4 out of 10. Altogether, we have 10. And to close these stages quicker, we need more people involved, engaged, getting information from different resources. They are informed, they are inspired, they know what we do, and we this way satisfy the basic needs and the possibility to earn money by using all the methodologies earlier than anyone else. And at this note, I wish you all the perfumery life, big checks, prosperity to you, and love and joy you may give to your families when you have enough resources. So good luck and see you soon. Mary says, I hope to see you soon as well. And with our students, we follow our timetable, but with our new students, we would be pleased to start our work. And those who are present here, if you feel and understand that you plan to develop together with EvoSchool project, so please let us know about this. Let Alexander and me know about this. And we build a group of businessmen that will be involved in the process of further development of EvoSchool brand. Therefore, let's be engaged together. And EvoSchool is the gasoline, is the motor that will strengthen the speed up our project. So I wish you all the best and see you soon. Latest.